Don't touch me. Her scream tears through the parking garage behind a midtown convenience plaza, raw and jagged, ricocheting off concrete walls and steel beams. It does not just echo, it multiplies, bouncing and bouncing until it sounds like the whole structure is screaming with her. The air smells like exhaust and wet asphalt. Somewhere above, fluorescent lights flicker like they are nervous. It cuts through the low hum of engines and late-night chatter like glass breaking. Headlights flare as a car brakes too hard. Tires squeal. A horn blares long and angry. As someone jerks their steering wheel to avoid the sudden crowd forming, a shopping cart rattles and slams into a curb, somewhere close by. A phone slips from someone's hand and smacks the ground, the screen flashing once like a heartbeat before it goes dark. A security officer in a navy vest has Naomi Brooks slammed against a concrete pillar, the chill of it seeping straight through her thin jacket and into her bones. One arm is jammed across her shoulder, crushing her sideways, pinning her so tight she can barely breathe. The other twists her wrist back at an unnatural angle, fingers digging into her skin so hard her knuckles turn pale, almost blue. His grip is not a hold, it is a message. Naomi's breath stutters. Her eyes shine with panic, her lips part, and she tries to pull air into lungs that feel too small. I said stop, she gasps, breath hitching as fear clamps down on her chest. Her free hand flies to her stomach without thinking, shielding it, protecting it, her palms spread wide over the curve of her belly, pressing as if she can hold the baby safe with sheer force. 7 months pregnant, alone, shaking so badly she can feel it in her teeth, in her jaw, in the bones of her hands. You people always lie, the guard snarls, breath hot, voice low and full of contempt like he is bored of her humanity. Store policy. Theft means detainment. I didn't take anything, Naomi pleads, words tumbling over each other, tripping, breaking. Her voice cracks so sharply, it sounds like it hurts. Please, I'm pregnant. Please. I didn't steal anything. I swear, I swear. Her knees wobble. Her back burns where it scrapes the rough concrete. She can feel the cold grit of the pillar against her shoulder blade. Her wrist throbs. Her stomach tightens in a slow, terrifying wave. A crowd gathers fast. Like blood and water, a man slows his steps. Pretending he is just curious, a woman stops pushing her cart. One hand flying to her mouth, someone leans out of a car window to watch like it is a show. Phones rise one by one, lenses catching light, recording, whispers ripple outward, sharp and suspicious, heavy with judgment that always arrives faster than help. Did she steal? Why is he grabbing her like that? She's pregnant. People always trying something. Call somebody. No one moves to stop it. They just document it. Then, a black SUV door slams shut. The sound is solid. Final, it pulls attention like gravity. Dragging every gaze in the garage toward it, a man steps out. Tall, calm, perfectly composed. Even here, even now. He wears a dark coat, cut clean and sharp, the kind that never wrinkles. The kind of fabric that looks like it costs more than Naomi's rent. He does not rush, does not flinch, does not scan the crowd like he is afraid. He moves with the confidence of someone used to being obeyed, used to rooms shifting when he enters them. Daniel Cross, tech mogul, philanthropist, a name that lives on buildings and headlines. The kind of man who gets invited to panels about change and impact. The kind who smiles for photos beside giant checks. A man whose presence makes conversations drop to whispers and decisions get postponed, because no one wants to be on the wrong side of him. Tonight, his voice cuts through concrete, panic, and noise. Let her go. The guard scoffs without turning, like he is offended someone rich is speaking directly to him. Sir, this doesn't concern. Daniel steps closer, placing himself between the guard and Naomi, his body blocking her without hesitation. It is instinctive, like something in him refuses to watch her be treated like this. His gaze does not flicker, his jaw is set, his voice does not rise. It does not have to. Now, one word, flat, unmovable, like the end of an argument, silence crashes down so hard it feels physical. Even the crowd stops breathing, the grip loosens. The guard's hand slips from Naomi's wrist like he suddenly remembers cameras exist. Like he suddenly realizes this moment has witnesses who matter. Naomi sways immediately. Her body does not know what to do without pressure holding it up. Her legs give out like strings cut. Daniel lunges forward, arms locking around her just in time. Catching her weight as her body folds, she sags against him, breath shallow. Fingers clutching at his coat like it is the only solid thing left in the world. Her forehead brushes his chest. Her hair smells like cheap soap and exhaustion. Her whole body trembles. He feels it, how light she is, how fragile, how hard she has been trying to hold herself together. He doesn't know yet. And she has no idea the man holding her steady, keeping her upright, is the biological father of the child she's been risking everything to protect. Get her in the car, Daniel snaps to his driver, already adjusting his grip so she's supported, so her weight doesn't drag her belly downward. We're closer to the house than the hospital. She'll get help there. No debate, no pause. The driver opens the back door. Naomi's eyes widen with panic, but she's too weak to fight. The world is sliding. The edges are going dark. She hears the crowd like it's underwater. She feels the cold air on her cheeks, and Daniel's arm like a steel bar holding her together. And just like that, the night changes direction. This is where black stories are told without apology, where power collides with truth, where women who refuse to be erased force the world to look at what it tried to ignore. If you believe a black woman's body is not property, like, share, and subscribe. Naomi Brooks moves through life like someone carrying a secret too heavy to put down, too dangerous to share, too sharp to touch without getting cut. She wakes before the sun, long before the city stretches awake. Her alarm buzzes softly so she won't disturb anyone else in the cramped building. The kind with thin walls and louder neighbors. She sits on the edge of her bed for a moment every morning, breathing through the ache in her lower back, waiting for the dizziness to pass, waiting for the nausea to settle enough that she can stand. Her room is small, a single window, a second-hand dresser with a broken drawer, a mirror taped together at the corner because she couldn't afford a new one. Her shoes sit by the door, worn at the heels. She works double shifts at a senior care center, lifting bodies heavier than her own, smiling through cramps, hiding nausea behind polite laughs. She helps men twice her size sit up in bed. She turns frail women gently so they don't get sores. She changes sheets, wipes mouths, braids hair, listens to stories she's heard 100 times, like they're new because that's what dignity looks like when no one is watching. She jokes with patience while her legs tremble. She counts pills with hands that sometimes shake. She holds trembling hands while her own belly tightens and hardens with the strain of carrying life under constant stress. She counts every dollar in her head like prayer beads, rent, bus fare, groceries, prenatal vitamins she keeps forgetting to buy because the price makes her stomach twist. At 7 months pregnant, every step hurts. But stopping feels worse. Stopping feels dangerous. Stopping means the fear catches up. Stopping means she hears her own thoughts. Co-workers whisper when they think she can't hear. She should be on leave. She's pushing herself too hard. She doesn't have anyone. Does she? Poor thing? Or maybe she did something. They're right about one thing. She doesn't have anyone. No partner waiting at home, no family nearby, no cousin who can send money, no friend she can call at 2 a.m. without feeling like a burden. But Naomi keeps moving because slowing down means thinking. And thinking brings memories she works hard to outrun. The clinic memory, the trap white walls, bright lights, a private fertility clinic that smelled like disinfectant and money, like polished countertops and silent judgment. She remembers the chair she sat in, too soft, too expensive, the calm music playing from speakers hidden in the ceiling, the receptionist who smiled too wide, the clipboard full of papers written in language designed to confuse. A woman with cold eyes and a soft voice sat across from her at a polished desk, nails perfectly manicured, smile gentle enough to feel like a trap. It's just a donation, the woman said. You'll help a family. You'll save your mother. Her mom's treatment wasn't covered. Insurance had run out. Bills stacked up faster than hope. Naomi had watched her mother try to laugh through pain. Watched her pretend not to notice the numbers on the invoices. Someone had to try. Naomi signed the papers. That was the first lie. The sedation came next. Heavier than they promised. Thick, dragging, swallowing her thoughts until she couldn't tell up from down. She remembers trying to speak and feeling her tongue float. She remembers a nurse saying, "Just breathe," in a tone that didn't sound kind. She remembers waking up dizzy, throat dry, body aching, and being told everything was fine. Then the call. Congratulations. The implantation was successful. Implantation? Her heart nearly stopped. Her hands went cold. Her mouth filled with metal. She never agreed to that. Not like this. Not without being told. Not without consent. Not without choice. She demanded answers. She demanded records. She demanded someone explain what they'd done to her body while she was unconscious. And when she learned the embryo wasn't anonymous, but belonged to one of the most powerful couples in the country, her blood turned to ice. Daniel Cross, Evelyn Cross. Their names weren't just names. They were headlines, galas, foundations, glossy magazine spreads about hope and family and giving back. She stared at the paperwork until the words blurred. The wife didn't blink. "That child belongs to us," she said calmly, like she was talking about luggage. "You'll deliver it." Naomi tried to run. The chase? The disappearing security appeared outside her workplace like ghosts in black coats. A black SUV lingered on her bus route, turning every corner just a second after she did. Her medical records disappeared like they'd never existed. A lawyer warned her about breach of contract and consequences. Words like liability and damages thrown at her like chains. They treated her like a vessel that had wandered off, so Naomi disappeared instead. New name, new job. Cheaper room with thin walls and a landlord who didn't ask questions as long as rent came on time. She stopped using her real number. She stopped going to the same stores. She stopped posting online. She stopped smiling in public because smiling made people look longer. And a baby she refused to surrender kept growing inside her. Proof of what they'd done. Proof that her body had been treated like a transaction. Every morning, she writes the same words on her mirror in a shaky hand. Like it's the only law she trusts. They do not own my child. Back at the estate, waking the gala. Evelyn, that's the woman Daniel Cross pulled from the pavement, unaware she's carrying his son. And unaware that saving her is about to dismantle the life he thought was unshakable. Naomi wakes in fragments. Cold air brushing her skin, machines beeping softly, a steady arm keeping her upright. Her eyes flutter open, heavy like wet sand. Her head throbs, her mouth is dry. She tastes salt, like she's been crying. She tries to sit up and the room spins, slow and cruel. Then her vision clears, and she freezes. Iron gates loom ahead. Floodlights glare down like interrogation lamps. A massive estate crest rises out of the dark like a warning carved into metal. No, not here. The Cross estate. The place she's spent months avoiding. Rerouting buses, changing paths, holding her breath whenever she saw a black SUV. The place tied to the clinic, tied to the contracts, tied to the cold woman's voice saying you'll deliver it. She tries to pull away, panic flooding her limbs, but her body won't cooperate. Weakness pins her like gravity. Her stomach tightens. Her fingers clutch at Daniel's sleeve. He's moving fast now, carrying her through the gates as if the world can't stop him. Inside, everything gleams. Marble floors reflect crystal chandeliers like stars trapped indoors. Champagne glasses catch light and throw it across walls. The air smells like perfume, money, and expensive food nobody is actually hungry for. A charity gala hums with laughter and false warmth. With speeches rehearsed in mirrors and smiles timed for cameras, politicians pose with donors, influencers livestream from corners, whispering into phones about exclusive moments. Cameras flash constantly, blinking like nervous eyes. And straight through the center of it all, Daniel Cross carries a pregnant black woman like she's the only real thing in the room. The whispers erupt instantly, louder and sharper. Because people like this don't know how to see a black woman in distress without turning it into a story about her deserving it. Who is she? Why is he holding her like that? Is this staged? Is she trying to get money? Naomi hears them like knives. Her face burns with shame she didn't earn. Her throat tightens. Then a woman turns. Tall, poised, wrapped in diamond white fabric that sparkles under the lights. The kind of dress designed to make a room agree she belongs at the center of it. Evelyn Cross, Daniel's wife. Her smile collapses the moment she sees Naomi. Not confusion, recognition. Her eyes lock on Naomi's belly first, like it's a weapon pointed at her. She knows her, and she knows exactly what Naomi is carrying. Get her out of here, Evelyn hisses to security. Quietly. Now, Daniel doesn't slow down. I'm not letting her die on my property. Cameras swing toward them. Evelyn doesn't look angry. She looks terrified, and Naomi sees it. The recognition, the fear, the crack in the hierarchy. The moment the woman in white realizes the past didn't stay buried, Naomi's lips tremble. She clutches Daniel's coat like it's the only thing between her and a cage. Don't let them take my baby, she whispers. Daniel stops. Not because he's unsure, because he finally hears the shape of what's happening. This isn't just a medical emergency. This is a hunt. Security closes in, forming a wall. Voice is controlled. Hands ready. Sir, one says, she's trespassing. We'll take her outside to paramedics. Outside, away from witnesses, away from him. Naomi's breath breaks into shallow little gasps. Fear crawls up her spine. She tries to shake her head, but her neck feels weak. Daniel's stance changes. He shifts his body so he blocks them completely. Like a door that refuses to open. No, he says. One word, same as before. Unmovable. She's in distress. Daniel says, voice low but edged with something dangerous. She stays with me until a medical team clears her. Evelyn steps closer. Voice soft for the crowd, sharp for Naomi. Daniel, she says. You don't know who she is. Don't make a scene. Her eyes burn into Naomi like a warning. Naomi can feel the intention behind them. Cold, calculated, possessive. The water breaks. The truth hits. The folderand then pain hits Naomi so hard she sees white. A deep cramp, a sudden pressure, her body tightening like a fist. She cries out, folding forward. The world tilts again. People gasp. A hush sweeps through the room like a wave. Naomi's water breaks, spilling onto marble, clear and shocking against the gleaming floor. Chaos erupts. Guests stumble back as if the fluid is poison. Someone shrieks. Someone laughs nervously like they don't know what else to do. Phones rise higher. Every camera wants the moment her body proves this is real. Daniel tightens his arms around her. Eyes wide. Call an ambulance, he barks. Now, Naomi clutches his wrist, fingers shaking, and whispers with a terror so pure it doesn't sound like words. Please, don't let them take my baby. And Daniel understands something that makes his blood run cold. This isn't only about a child being born. It's about a child being taken. Later, after the ambulance pulls away and the red-blue lights fade down the long driveway, Daniel stands in the aftermath, staring at the wet marble, at the faces trying to pretend nothing happened, at Evelyn standing too still. Something catches his eye near the entrance. A folder, bent, worn thin, held together with a rubber band like it's been clutched through months of fear. He picks it up slowly. It feels heavier than paper should. Inside, a consent form, highlighted, circled twice in shaky ink, intended parents, Daniel Cross and Evelyn Cross. Daniel's breath leaves him like someone punched his chest. His hands shake. The world tilts. He reads it again and again. His name, her name. In black ink, like a sentence, he looks up. Evelyn is already retreating, her posture stiff, her face tight like she's trying to hold a dam shut with her bare hands. What did you do? He asks quietly. Too quietly. It wasn't supposed to come back to us, she mutters. Phones rise again, faster this time. The crowd senses blood in the water now. The gala has turned into something else. Daniel's voice fractures. You put my embryo into her. Without telling me. Evelyn's jaw tightens. She was compensated. Evelyn snaps. She ran? She ran from what? Daniel asks. The words slow, each one sharpened by disbelief. From the truth? From them? From the fact that her body was never treated like hers? The fallout. The hospital. The choice by morning. The footage is everywhere. It doesn't trickle. It detonates. Hashtags surge like wildfire. Clips loop on every platform. Slow motion edits. Commentaries. Stitches. Duets. People freeze frame the moment Naomi screams. The moment Daniel steps in. The moment Evelyn's face changes. Women speak out. Not one. Not two. More. I was in that program too. They drugged me. They threatened me. They told me I was replaceable. Clinics are exposed. Names drop. Emails leak. One line spreads across the internet like gasoline. If she liability disappears. The country reads it and feels sick. The internet explodes, and in the middle of it, Daniel Cross walks into Naomi's hospital room and makes a choice that costs him everything, and finally makes him human. Naomi lies in a hospital bed, exhausted, shaking. Eyes red from crying, monitors beep, nurses move quietly like they're trying not to startle her. She looks small under the harsh hospital lights, but her hand rests on her belly with the same stubborn protection it's had for months. The door opens, Daniel steps in, not with cameras, not with entourage, but with the weight of what he's learned pressing into his shoulders. Naomi flinches at first, instinctively bracing for control. For contracts? For threats? Daniel stops at the foot of the bed. I'm not here to take anything, he says, voice rough. I'm here to stop them. Her eyes search his face like she's trying to decide if men like him ever tell the truth. He looks at her like he can barely breathe. You deserved to be safe, he says. You deserved to be told the truth. You deserved a choice. Naomi's lips tremble. She swallows hard. I tried to disappear, she whispers. I tried to protect him. They wouldn't let me. Daniel's hands curl into fists at his sides. They don't get to touch you again, he says. Not without your consent. Not with me standing here. And that's when Naomi finally exhales. Just a fraction. Like her body has been holding its breath for months, and is afraid to let go. The press statement, the banner weeks later. Daniel stands before reporters. Cameras flash like lightning. Microphones cluster at his mouth. The air is sharp with questions and accusation. He looks different. Not polished, not untouchable, not rehearsed. Just a man standing in public with the truth. My name is Daniel Cross, he says, and I failed to protect the mother of my child. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Phones lift higher. Live streams spike. He keeps going. He names what happened. He calls it what it is. He doesn't hide behind PR language. He doesn't soften it. He doesn't pretend. Boards dissolve. Funds freeze. Investigations begin. And then the banner drops behind him. Huge and undeniable. The Brooks Center for Reproductive Justice? A name that turns Naomi from a secret into a symbol. Ending? The newborn? Shared dignitarian? A quiet hospital room later? Naomi holds her newborn son. His small chest rising and falling against her. His skin is warm. His fingers curl around her thumb like he knows her. Like he's been waiting to be held without fear. Daniel sits beside her, not above her, not claiming space. Not acting like a savior, just present. Naomi looks at him, tired but steady. I don't want saving, she says softly. I don't want to owe anybody my freedom. Daniel nods. Swallowing, I want dignity. Naomi continues. Truth, shared responsibility. I want my son to grow up knowing nobody owns bottom. Nobody buys people. Daniel's eyes shine, but he doesn't look away. For the first time in my life, he says, voice barely steady. I'm listening. Naomi shifts the baby slightly, and without thinking, Daniel reaches out to support the tiny hand. Their fingers touch, both of them holding the child together for one small moment. And in that quiet, the future rewrites itself.